There's a kind of tired that doesn't have a name. Your eyes are dry. Your head feels full of static. There's a hollow feeling, like you were busy for hours, but built nothing real. The screen is dark now, but your mind is still flickering with fragments. Half-watched clips, comments you didn't care about, an argument that had nothing to do with you, somebody's vacation, somebody's kitchen renovation, somebody's opinion about something you'll never think about again. And underneath all of it, a question you don't really want to ask. Didn't I just spend that whole time resting? Then why do I feel worse than when I started? Here's the part that should bother you more than it does. You knew this would happen. You've been here before, not once, not twice, dozens of times with almost perfect certainty about how this ends. And in 10 minutes, maybe less, you're going to reach for it again anyway. We don't keep touching a hot stove. We don't keep eating something that makes us sick. So why do we keep walking straight into a mental state that leaves us emptier than we started? The explanation we usually land on is short and brutal. I have no self-control. I'm just lazy. Some people are wired for discipline, and I'm clearly not one of them. It feels true because it looks like a choice every single time. Nobody's forcing your hand toward the phone. If you were stronger, you'd just stop. You don't stop, so you must be weak. That story is wrong, not slightly off, wrong about the entire mechanism underneath it. It assumes you reach for the phone because it feels good, because it's giving you something you want. But that's not what's actually sitting in your hand a half second before it moves. What's actually there is discomfort. Small, almost invisible discomfort. The kind you've gotten so used to that you stopped registering it as a feeling at all. 3 seconds of silence between one task and the next. A flicker of low-grade anxiety about the thing you haven't finished, sitting in the back of your mind, like a stone in your shoe you've learned to walk around. A specific, unglamorous kind of loneliness at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, in an apartment that's a little too quiet, with nothing scheduled and nobody texting back. And in that exact instant, before you've even consciously decided anything, your hand already knows the fastest exit that has ever existed in human history. It's not chasing pleasure, it's fleeing a feeling. 1 second of not having to sit with yourself. That's the entire reward. Not joy, not even real enjoyment most of the time. Just the quiet removal of something small and uncomfortable, gone before you even had the chance to name it. And here's the part that actually costs you something, the part that doesn't show up until later. While the phone is busy rescuing you from that discomfort, it's also quietly making real rest impossible. Your mind doesn't recover during that hour. It just switches from one kind of noise into a faster, more fragmented kind. You think you're resting because your body is still, but inside, your attention is being cut into smaller and smaller pieces. A few seconds here, a half thought there, never long enough to actually settle into anything. And the original discomfort, the thing you were running from in the first place, the unfinished project, the conversation you've been avoiding, the loneliness sitting in the corner of the room, never actually went anywhere. It's still there, untouched, waiting exactly where you left it, like it's been holding its breath the whole time you were gone. You walk into that hour thinking of it as a recovery room. You walk out more depleted than when you sat down. Your eyes hurt, your thoughts feel slippery, and somewhere underneath all of it, the actual problem, the one you were trying to escape, is still fully intact, untouched by anything that just happened. Nothing got solved, nothing got rested. You just got very, very good at not noticing the cost in real time. This is where the whole story flips. You're not lazy. That diagnosis was wrong from the start. What looks like broken willpower is actually a perfectly logical response to a device engineered to make escape frictionless. You're not failing to resist pleasure. You're succeeding, again and again, at avoiding discomfort, just aimed at the wrong target and at a price you've never sat down to actually calculate. You're not lazy. You're protecting yourself. Quietly, automatically, in a way that drains a little more out of you every single time you do it. That's not a character flaw. That's a reflex, doing exactly what reflexes do, just pointed in a direction that doesn't actually help you. So if it was never about willpower, what is it actually about? The 3 seconds right after the screen goes dark, when nothing is happening yet, when your hand has nowhere to go and your mind hasn't found its next distraction. And you're just there, alone with the boredom, alone with the unfinished thing, alone with the low hum of being inside your own head with nothing to drown it out. No feed refreshing, no next clip loading, just you and whatever you've been quietly outrunning since this morning. That gap is the real opponent, not the phone itself. The phone is just the door. The gap is the room you don't want to walk into. You're not addicted to the device. You're addicted to never having to sit inside that gap, even for a moment. So the way out doesn't start with a new rule or an app limit or some harsh promise to yourself that you already know you'll break by Thursday. It starts somewhere much smaller than that. Next time your hand starts drifting toward the phone on its own, almost before you've decided anything, don't fight it. You can still pick it up if you need to. But right there, in that half second before your thumb lands on the screen, try inserting one breath, just one, and ask yourself, quietly, without needing an answer right away, what am I actually trying to get away from right now? You don't need to solve it in that moment. You don't even need to put the phone down. You just need to see it clearly for 1 second, for what it actually is. Because the moment you see the reach for what it is, something shifts. You're no longer just the person running. You're the person who noticed themselves running. And that's a different person entirely, even if nothing else about the next 5 minutes changes. That 1 second doesn't fix the silence waiting on the other side of the screen, but it's the first place where you stop disappearing from your own life without realizing you left. If this helped you understand what you keep running from, subscribe for more videos on the hidden patterns behind your behavior.